Hi everyone, this is Sarantos. Well, it's March, and if you're a basketball fan, March Madness is right around the corner. For March, I thought I'd release an indie alternative folk song called Every Handshake is Important. I've kind of gotten really into the folksy kind of rock vibe. Folk tells a really cool story, and I really wanted to tell a story with this song. I'm an old-fashioned kind of guy. I am an 80s child, but I grew up at a time when your word was your bond. A handshake was important. My father taught me that. It was all you needed. You didn't have to hide behind any contracts or hidden agendas. You looked someone straight in the eye, and if you said something, there was no going back on your word. I sometimes wonder where all that has gone. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm at the other extreme. I'm way too nice and way too naive sometimes, even to a fault. I got branded as too nice for many years, and it really took me a long time to stop getting taken advantage of and realizing that not everyone else shared my sense of ethics. The ethics my parents taught me. Not everybody else was upfront and honest. Some people spew their lies and sleep comfortably at night. Even though I've made more mistakes than anyone I know, and I will admit I've lied sometimes, I just can't do that. I can't sleep at night like these other people. Maybe my mama had that Greek boy guilt trip that she's always thrust upon me, but that guilt trip demon is always there inside me, whispering ever so loudly in my ear. Anyway, not to ramble on, but life is simple. For me, my word is my bond. A handshake still has value. So I decided to write a song about it. I found a really cool charity called the Handshake Foundation, and of course, given the name of the song, I thought this would be perfect. I'm gonna get a little sidetracked here and talk about right before the music video came out, I was a little bit MIA. Truth is, I had a scar vision from my wide, ugly, thick neck scar, and as I was recovering from that, I went through my trip from hell. I had a kidney stone that wrecked me, and I was in the ER Thursday night from like 9-10 o'clock until 4 in the morning. I finally passed the kidney stone. I was trying to recover from all that while getting back to work full time. The trip to the ER was a night of severe agony. The culprit was not love, not friends, nothing other than my own body betraying me. I had a small 2mm kidney stone. I've had surgery in the past. I've had hernia surgery, I've had a bunch of things, but I've never taken narcotics. The pain this night was so intense, and it was unlike anything I've ever experienced before in my entire life. This time, they were throwing IV morphine, Dilaudid, Norco, many other things they kept pushing into my system over the 6 or 7 hours I was in the ER. And you know what? I begged for them. I actually at one point begged for death. The pain was so intense that I just wanted it all to be over. Finally, though, I passed the kidney stone and regained some sense of normalcy. The severe dehydration and urospesis that was starting finally went away. As I think back on that today, it really has given me a very new perspective. I can't believe, I'm almost embarrassed to say I got to the point that I was begging for death. Has this ever happened to you? I actually asked my dead father to help release me from the pain and agony. It's such a humbling feeling to look back and realize that I invited Lady Death to come take me. I've always been a fighter, never given up anything my entire life, and yet I had a moment of weakness. It just made me realize even more that our time on this earth is treasured. None of us know how much longer we've got, and there's only one thing that sticks to the front of my mind today. At least I've tried to live a good life with a sense of ethics and morality. I've never screwed anyone over. Every handshake was important to me, and I tried to treat people right. My word was my bond. For the music video, I thought it should center on handshakes, multiple different kinds of people, male, female, all sorts of nationalities. A handshake is still something that's a worldwide symbol on this planet, and I hope you enjoyed the music video. For the book, well, Sarantos is still dreaming about Addie, but there's a new problem on the ship. Here's a snippet. His eyes felt glued shut, but a noise awakened him from a deep sleep. He was dreaming of losing his ship to an invisible race. There were hundreds. They were everywhere. They'd taken over his ship. You cannot fight what you cannot see. John would disagree, but this was a dream that belonged in Sarantos' thoughts, not John's. Wiping the sleep from his eyes, he gently opened them. Sarantos loved the hours after 9. Silence greeted him now, though. The room was dark. His head was pounding. Turning over, he grabbed the slightly warm pillow that still held the perfume of Addie and pulled it lovingly onto his chest. She'd already left for work. Where did she get her energy? So that's a snippet of my book, and I hope you enjoy the new chapter this month. Chugging right along to the new poem of the month. Well, it's March Madness. College basketball is taking center stage in the news, so of course I had to write a poem about March Madness. I'll read it to you now. The sounds of March in every basketball town is the buzzing and bragging we're the best all around. Normal people become abnormally obsessed, watching players and coaches who are abnormally stressed. More betting goes on in Vegas in every office pool. You think you've got the best bracket, then seem like a fool. Just one loss and you're out while the others keep playing. You pack your bags 'cause at home you're staying. How did David beat Goliath when there's no possible way? This year, is it possible this Cinderella is here to stay? Who knows, but in the end, only 4 teams remain. If you've got one there, you feel a little bit insane. If the right bounce or banked shot falls your way, maybe your team wins to play one more day. NCAA champs, a title that can inspire, and winning means the coach will not get fired. When March Madness comes, there's no real place to hide. You better pick your team than sit back and enjoy the ride. Well, a lot of fun this March. And even though I had a low point in my life, I've also had some high points. I want to thank you all for being my fans. And next month is April, and you're going to hear a very special song to me. I wrote a song called Bankruptcy. And in a few weeks, I'm going to tell you why.